You're watching Lehigh Valley Sports Scene on Service Electric 2 Sports.
Parkland boys volleyball has won a total of 6 District 11 titles, the last one being spring of 2008. The Trojans finished up as runners-up in 2009 and went on to play in the state tournament, advancing out of pool play before losing in the semifinal. The seniors from last season have been pushing this year's group to do what they did and more. Regina Potocny met up with the Trojans and has a look at the upcoming spring season.
The Parkland boys volleyball team won their first ever Lehigh Valley Conference title last season. Head coach Scott Trumbauer has some big shoes to fill as they lost Zoe Wynn, the LVC MVP, to graduation. But in his 9th year, he is looking forward to this year's Trojan squad and seeing what his team will accomplish.
Kind of anxious to see what happens this year. We've returned a couple very experienced players, some kids that had to step in when they were sophomores 3 years ago. We have some kids who didn't play last year and decided to come out again this year, and they'll be key parts to us as well. So it's up in the air what kind of team we'll see on each night, but I'm hoping we can get consistent and kind of groove as a team, and we'll see how the season goes.
One position that has coach concerned is the setter, just because of the inexperience on the varsity level.
We have a returning senior he saw some experience at states, but by no means is he, a seasoned veteran. He needs to get some reps, and in practice he's getting a lot of reps, and he's asking for a lot of reps, and he understands that it's tough work, and he's ready to put forth the effort. But defensively we'll be anchored in pretty well with Chad Pizzol. I mean, he'll be our anchor back there, and hopefully help us get our offense smooth and get John to not have to run around as much, so to kind of ease those bumps. But it'll be the inexperience I think is going to be our killer this year.
We got to work on our blocking. It's tough when you got teams running all over the place. You got one-on-one blockers. But if we can work on seeing where the set's going and getting up a good solid block on the hitters, then I think that's key to success.
We definitely need to work on defense, our floor defense, speeding up our blocks. We had some problems with that over our scrimmage, running a little bit faster.
The Trojans officially kick off their 2010 season this coming weekend with a tournament in Hempfield. They're expected to see some very good teams that they might run into later this year.
This weekend we'll see Exeter again. They're in the other pool, but we might see them in playoffs hopefully. Hempfield, they're every year they're a state contender. They're in our pool, so we'll see them. I think a third match of the day. And Penn Ridge is pretty good too. Last year they lost in the state playoff game to Freedom, and they returned some pretty strong players. So we'll see them at, hopefully at some point in the playoffs or sometime. So those are I think the key teams we'll see this weekend.
After 2 weekend tournaments, LVC action will pick up, and the Trojans expect it to be a tough league this year.
Same group of characters normal. The Emmaus's, the Freedom should be pretty good this year. I think that the dark horse that I called from last year, because they were so young and gained a lot of experience, is Whitehall. Everybody's talking. Whitehall's going to be strong this year. We'll see them twice. They're only a couple miles away from here, so we'll see them twice this year, and maybe a couple other times. So. Other than that, I mean, usually 1 or 2 teams, creep out of the blue and perform well early on within their leagues and things. So we'll have to see what teams those are, but it's the usual cast of characters.
We're excited for a few games. A lot of these players we've played with on club teams before, so now we're going head-to-head. I'm excited for some of the games. The Whitehall game, Emmaus game's going to be good. Freedom's going to be good. So just do what we can.
Parkland's first LVC game will be played Monday, March 29th in the LVC Play Day. It's at Liberty, and they play the Hurricanes. On the scene with the Parkland Trojans boys volleyball team, Regina Potocny, 2 Sports.